All right. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Well, let's go ahead and get going. So we'll start um, in a seat. Okay, so just legs crossed, sitting up nice and tall. Let's close down those eyes. We'll just take a few breaths here. Okay, so you can give it one big shoulder roll. So draw those shoulders up by the ears, soften it down and back, closing down those eyes. Feel yourself just gently pulling those shoulder blades together, relaxing those shoulders down. And let's keep lifting through the chest, just sitting nice and tall. And then just breathe in and out through the nose. Taking that big breath in, really filling up those lungs. Sitting up even taller. And exhale that breath out. Again, big breath in. And exhale. You got a couple more times on your own, really filling into that lowest part of the lungs, letting that belly expand, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhaling that breath out just nice and slow. And let's reach those arms up overhead. A big reach. Let's twist it over to that right side. So left hand comes across that knee, sit up really tall on that inhale. Exhale, find a little more twist. Okay, now we're gonna keep that left hand right where it's at. Right arm is gonna reach up and over. Find that big side stretch. Reach both arms up. Let's twist it over to the other side. Let's sit tall on that inhale. Exhale, twist. And now we'll keep that right hand right where it's at. Left arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch. And then go ahead and reach it back up. Draw those elbows down. Open up through that chest. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull those arms down. Inhale it back up. Now this time, draw those elbows down. Interlace those fingers behind the back. Pull the knuckles down towards the ground first. Bring those hands away from the hips. Another breath here, just letting those shoulders release, open up. And now release those arms up overhead. Again, we'll twist it over to that right side. Sit tall on that inhale. Exhale, twist. And then we'll keep that left hand on the knee. Right arm reaches up and over. Good. Bring it back up. Twist to the other side. Lengthen and twist. Now we're going to reach that left arm up and over. Big side stretch. Good. Bring it back up. Both arms reach up overhead. Elbows will draw down. Interlace those fingers behind the back. Knuckles down towards the ground first. Hands away from those hips. Good. Then go ahead and release those arms up. Let's go ahead and roll over onto those hands and knees. Okay. Few cat cows. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as you look up. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Now we'll bring it to neutral spine, core nice and tight. Pressing that right leg back, flex that foot, point the toes down. Then we're gonna go ahead and lower the toes down towards the mat. Okay, so starting with the shoulders just stacked right above the hands. Okay, As we come forward, a little bit of a stretch to those toes. Okay, now we're gonna press the weight back. So pressing your shoulders behind the wrists now as we press that heel back a little bit more. So stretching out through that calf. And then bring it forward. So stretch out those toes, maybe a little bit of a wrist stretch here. And then we'll press it back. Okay, bring it forward. Press it back. Hold it here. Good, now bring the shoulders neutral right over those wrists. Lift that leg up. Send it out towards that right side. Plant that foot down flat. So the feet are parallel to the mat. Okay, now move through those cat-cows again. Inhale, drop that belly. Lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale, we'll round the spine. Press the shoulder blades away. Draw that belly up and in. Good, inhale. Drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Bring it to neutral. Press those hips back. Bring it back up. Press it back so it doesn't have to go very far. Bring it back up. Last one. Maybe go a little bit further. We're going to hold. Keep that back flat. Chest is holding forward. So lengthening through the spine. When we lengthen through the spine, we get that bigger stretch through that inner thigh and through that hamstring. And then we'll bring it back up. Go ahead and send that leg straight back. Press through that heel. Left arm is going to reach forward. Exhale, curl it and draw that elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Last time, curl it in. Reach it out. And now, lower the hand down. That right foot's going to come now to the left side of the mat. So grip those toes down. Right hand plants, twisting. Left arm reaches up. So just hold it here. Reaching up with that left hand. Pressing into that right palm. Trying to press the shoulder away from the mat. And then lower that hand down. And lower that right knee down. To the other side, we're going to send that left leg straight back. Lower those toes down. Okay. Now shift the weight forward. So we want those shoulders right over the wrist. Maybe a little bit of a stretch through the big toe, those toes. And then we'll press that heel back. So we're pressing the shoulders behind the wrist. And now bring it forward. Keep the toes down. Press it back. Bring it forward. Again, press it back. And forward. Let's go one more time. Press it back. Good, then bring it neutral. Lift that leg up, swing it out to the left side. So plant that foot down, move through those cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Then now bring it back to neutral. Press those hips back. Good, bring it back up. And send the hips back. Come back up. Last time, press those hips back and hold. Good, bring it back up. Send that leg straight back. Right arm's gonna reach forward. Exhale, curl in, draw that elbow to the knee. Inhale, press it back out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend it out. Lower that right hand down. Bring that foot across. Okay, and now find that twist. So we're pressing into that left palm. Right arm is twisting, reaching up. Good, hold it here. Find that balance and that twist. Reaching up. And then we'll lower that hand down. Send that leg back. Lower that knee down. Bring those toes together. Knees a little bit wider. Press those hips back to the heels. And then we'll soften that head down to the mat. Just letting that chest soften towards the ground. A little stretch maybe through that upper back. Good, then come back up onto hands and knees. Go and step those feet back to our plank, and then hips to the sky, that downward facing dog. So slight bend in the knees, press that tailbone up towards the ceiling, press those heels down towards the mat. So nice flat back, that core, that belly is engaged. One more breath. Let's come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet up to the top of the mat. Finding that half lift on that inhale. Exhale, slide those hands down as we fold. Just let that head hang nice and heavy. Feel that big stretch through those hamstrings. And then bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Go ahead and rise up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. All right, let's interlace those fingers, point those palms up, side stretch to the right. Inhale it back up, over to the left. Good, inhale, bring it back up. Release those hands as we fold. Let's find that twist, flat back on that inhale. A little more bend into that right knee as that left arm reaches up. Lower it down as we fold. To the other side, bend into that left knee, flatten out that back, right arm reaches up. And lower that hand down as we fold. Again, find that flat back. Plant those hands, step those feet back to a plank. Go ahead and lower it down. Inhale, lift that chest up. So if this up dog's a little bit too much for you, you can always lower that rib cage, the lowest part of the rib cage down onto the mat, just lifting the chest up. And then from there, we'll reverse that plank. Hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Let's hold it for a couple more breaths. And now come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Inhale, that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Reach up nice and tall. Interlace those fingers, palms up. Bend it to the right. Inhale it up to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. Release those hands as we fold. Find that flat back. Bend into that right knee, twisting left arm reaches up. Lower down, fold. Just let that head hang for a sec. And then re-lengthen. Bend into that left knee, right arm reaches up. Lower those hands down. Plant those hands down to the mat. Step it back to our plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And one more breath in down dog. Now let's go ahead and come onto the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet up to the top of the mat. Let's find that flat back. Exhale, fold. Now, if your feet are a little bit wider, let's heel toe walk those big toes together to touch, or at least get a little bit closer. So think big toes are angling in, so the outside edges of the feet are nice and straight, parallel to each other. Now, inhale, rise up to standing, reach it up tall, sink those hips down into that chair. And go as low as you can. Shoulders relax down. We'll bring those hands to heart center. We're going to twist it over to that right side. So hips drop down, chest lifts as we look over that shoulder. Bring it to center and twist it to the other side. Bring it back to center. Reach those arms up and exhale, straighten the legs as we fold. Can find that flat back. Let's go ahead and just take a big step back with that left foot. Lower that knee down. Inhale, we'll reach those arms up overhead, core is tight, pressing those hips forward. And one more breath. Feel that big stretch through that quad, hip flexor. Now bring those hands to heart center, then twist, left elbow comes across that right thigh. Yes, our hips are pressing forward. Then press into the palms, lift that chest as we twist. Bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. And then we'll lower those hands down. Step both feet up to the top of the mat. We'll just go to the other side. We're going to take that big step back with that right foot. I'll lower that knee down. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead. So again, rib cage, tailbone scoops down, and then you press those hips forward without moving anything. Well, not quite as much in that upper back, or that lower back, I mean. Upper body, how about that? Get one more breath. Then we'll bring those hands to heart center and twist. Right elbow across that left thigh. Keep pressing the hips forward, lifting through that chest as we find that big twist. And bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. And lower the hands down. And step both feet up to the top of the mat. Find that flat back. Exhale, fold. Locking those feet a little closer together. Inhale, we're going to rise up. Sink those hips down to our chair. Hands will come to heart center as we twist it over to that right side. And to center, over to that left side. Bring it back to center. Pause in that chair. And then straighten those legs as we fold. Yeah, now we're going to take a big step back with that left foot. Lower that knee down. Inhale, those arms will reach up. So you press the hips forward, core stays tight. And then we'll bring the hands to heart center as we twist. Hook that left elbow across that knee. Bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. Add a little hamstring stretch here. So we're going to straighten that front leg, stacking the hips over that left knee, pulling the toes back as we fold. Okay, let's rebend into that knee. Step both feet, top of the mat, switching sides. Right leg steps back. Lower that knee down. Inhale those arms up. Press the hips forward. Good, now bring those hands to heart center as we twist. Right elbow across that thigh. Good, now we'll bring it back to center. Straighten that front leg as we fold. And then we'll rebend into that knee. Let's go ahead and step it back to a plank. Let's move through a vinyasa. And exhaling those hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. It's a big stretch here, pressing the tailbone up, pressing those heels down, really active through those arms, through the fingers. And let's make our way into a pigeon. So we're going to bring that right knee towards that right wrist. Foot comes across, sliding that left leg back. Now, one more twist here. So lower that left forearm down, parallel to that right knee. Right arm is going to reach out, thumb turns down, hand comes to the tail, back of the hand comes to the tailbone, and then we'll twist, open up. So look over that shoulder, gently pulling that left shin back, right knee pulls. I switched that. Right shin's pulling back, left knee's pulling forward. As we open up, look over that right shoulder. One more breath. And then we'll release. Lower onto those forearms. Just rest your head down here for a few moments. Just breathing, allowing that hip to relax. That good stretch. Let's come onto our hands. Go to the other side. So step the feet back to that down dog. And then we'll go left knee towards the left wrist. Foot comes across, sliding that right leg back. Point those toes. And then we'll lower that right forearm down. Left arm reaches out. And then we'll bring that back of the hand to the tailbone. Okay, so gently pulling left knee, left shin back, right knee pulls forward, and then we'll twist, open up. So looking over that shoulder first and find that twist. Couple more breaths. And go ahead and release it. Lower both forearms down to the mat. You can rest that head down. Just pause for a few breaths. And slowly come up onto those hands. Send it back, down dog for a moment. Maybe a little pedal of those knees, of those feet. And then go ahead and lower those knees down. Come to a seat, cross-legged position. Let's just pause it for a couple breaths. Sitting tall, shoulders roll down and back. Again, as we started that big breath in through the nose, really filling those lungs. And exhale it out through the nose. Again, a few more times on your own. Good. Leave those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great weekend. I do believe, as far as I know, we do have class on Monday. A regular schedule as far as I know. So hopefully you guys can make it. Otherwise, have a great long weekend, and I will see you guys next week.